guys, welcome back to the Bull Talk with Big Jim podcast.
Guess what, motherfucker?
Some of the information you are about to hear, some may find disturbing.
I don't know who gave them this or who gave them the clearance. On the crotch.
Oh my lord.
Right there.
Can we Google that?
Yeah, that's what I thought. And then I fucking stumbled down a dark hole and I love it.
Great keg parties. You know, if I'm gonna believe anybody's bullshit, I'm gonna believe mine.
It sounds not politically correct, but
You two motherfuckers need Jesus.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the podcast.
Hola.
We are your hosts, the no neck Mexicans, as my dad likes to call us. I am Lil Jim, aka Bo.
I'm Big Jim. Jim.
Yeah, aka Jim.
Jim.
Welcome back. If you are a OG listener, welcome back. We missed you guys, and if you're a new
Definitely
listener,
missed you.
hello,
Thank
welcome. Welcome to the shit show.
you. Welcome to the ear pounding of your life.
Yeah. Hope you guys enjoy it. This is a doozy of an episode, I would say.
Doozy. That's big vocabulary.
Yeah, it's better than Mountain Dew. You'll know that joke when you listen to the episode.
And we learned to say a new one properly.
Yeah.
Charcuterie.
Yeah, charcuterie. I hope you guys enjoy that one too.
God damn it, it's a cutting board.
Well, it's been a couple of months since we last recorded, and
2.
no, it's been about 3.
Well, the last episode we recorded was with Cody and Molly, and that was the holiday.
That was October. That was Halloween.
Oh, well, fuck. We apologize, people.
It's been a very,
But we've had
very-
stuff going on. It's not like, it's just like the rest of the world.
Yeah, shit has not stopped for us, just like it hasn't stopped for everybody. But with that being said, how have you been these last couple of weeks, these last couple of months?
Well, it just gets tiring with this whole virus protocol. But other than that, I've been healthy. I had obviously went and saw you guys for Christmas, saw the baby.
Babies.
Babies. No, the new baby.
Yeah.
And just trying to stay as healthy as everybody else. Hell, your brother just got sent home from school today because the new protocol for school is just so wacky that,
Yeah, didn't he
they sent that.
already get sent home?
No, well, last Monday, so I don't know when this is going to be put out, but early in January, the schools had gave them testing for home testing kits. And they provide 2 test kits, and you're supposed to take it right away, test positive, waited the 3 days, retested after 3 days, negative. Went to the school to get confirmation of what we should do now, because obviously he's missing school work, and now finals. And I was told by one of the APs, assistant principal, to wait till Monday, which is today. And so it's been technically 7 days that he's been out. And then I get a phone call when I was in the shower, and it was the principal asking me what had happened, who had said what, and why is he back in school. And I said, okay, well, this is what's going on. And I told him, and I explained it to him, and he obviously is just as confused as everybody else. And I just told him, look, it's no reason to get anybody reprimanded. The other principal, the attendance lady, they're overwhelmed. If this national protocol is confusing to me and to you, just send his ass home.
Yeah, it's getting weird right now. Like my firstborn, your granddaughter right now, she's
The Antichrist.
she's actually getting her shot right now.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Where, at
so
school?
no, we pulled her out. Kind of the same thing. We pulled her out, and my wife is taking her over to get her shot right now. And I know it's going to be a hectic storm when she gets back, because she doesn't like shots. She's never liked shots. No kid likes shots to begin with. But yeah, it's been a lot, and I understand your frustration because I have the same frustrations when it comes to her school over here with certain things and the way that some of the people over here and over here in Lodi, they just don't care, which I understand. You just want to go back to normal and just walk around and have fun and do whatever you're doing, but unfortunately
Everybody
it's
wants, and
not
that's
like
just
that.
it. He's got his shot. Seasonal flu, both first and second. He's now up to get his booster. He has basically just a common cold, and I think that's what tested the positive last week. So yeah, he's 15, so he's loving life. He's gonna sit here, play Xbox, and eat tacos. And well, for your daughter, she's gonna leave with little pigtails and come back looking like Constantine.
Yeah. She's gonna be pissed.
Pissed.
It's gonna be a fun Monday. But yes, listeners, followers, we've actually had a lot of followers in the last couple of weeks. Thank you for
Thank
everyone
you.
who's followed us. TikTok, surprisingly, TikTok has been also pretty crazy as well. I mean, I've been bored because we haven't not bored, yeah, bored. I've been bored.
I would say you just have time on your hands now, dude. That was the biggest obstacle we had, and people who do this daily, and
Yeah,
there's a lot of independent podcasts, so they're gonna understand. This takes this is a
time.
part-time job. This is a
This is
part-time job,
I mean,
and
hell,
hats off.
just before recording this, we were going back and forth between two different programs trying to figure out some shit out.
Yeah, it's work, dude. Everybody understand, and I think that's that. I noticed a trend in people following this. You're right, but we haven't put anything out, so people have been revisiting a lot of the old episodes, and then we've been
Yep.
able to speak with other podcasts, and you know, and we've gained some momentum with them through them.
Yeah.
And we still have a positive count and audience. So it's tough, and thanks for people who've been sticking around, and you know we're one of many.
Thank
There's
you.
little guys. So thank you very much.
Yeah. We've had a lot of different things pop up. We've had reviews come up recently. We've had oh, by the way, we are trending in Malaysia.
What?
Yeah.
How?
Well, not trending. That's probably we're on the 150 ranked podcasts in Malaysia for true crime.
Really?
Yeah, I totally forgot to tell you that.
Well, damn. Right on.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, let me see if I can translate thank you in Malaysia.
Yeah.
Hey, Google.
just say
Oh, shit.
thank you. Just say thank you. And we even got a new review on Apple Podcasts. This was actually on Christmas Day. It said,
Nandi.
what?
Malaysia. Nandi. 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 Nandi.
What is that?
Thank you in Malaysian.
Oh, okay. I didn't know what you were saying.
Oh, I told you I was going to look it up.
Um,
If I had Google in high school, I'd be a fucking genius right now.
oh, all of us would be. You kidding
Yeah.
me? The person on Apple Podcast named Not So Slender Man. I'm not gonna lie, that's a pretty good name.
He must be a chubby Mexican.
He gave us 4 stars and put the title as not bad. He said, I listened to, or he or she, I'm assuming it's a man because it says Not So Slender Man. I listened to too many podcasts, and to be honest, this isn't half bad. It's 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 pretty that they did this with their father and son. I like it. Only critique, do a little more research and fine tune some of the audio.
And that's what we're working on, pal.
Yeah, that's definitely what we're working on. All right. Well, let's get started with the show. I'm sure people are done hearing us rant on about our personal lives and just want to come and hear about this show.
I want to hear shit. What's the story about?
I put out a poll on Instagram. This is now probably about a month ago, about what states that we have gotten analytics for through our host, Anchor. Shout out Anchor. And it said that Texas and California were some of the bigger listeners. And not only that, those are the two states that people wanted to hear stories from. So, with that being said, I thought we could tell a little story from Texas as well as tell a little fun fact from Texas. Did you know that it is illegal? Illegal, which means you can go to jail, be fined for it if you milk someone else's cow.
Is that a blue law? Is that what they call a blue law? Is that real?
It's real. Like that's a misdemeanor. That's real.
Okay, there's kind of got to be a default there. If you got ranch hands milking the owner's cow, they should all be arrested.
No.
I get it. But they don't own them.
Okay. If you don't think that one was wacky enough, what about this one? Did you know it is illegal to sell your own eyeball?
Why?
Because
Why is that? I mean, not that I'm gonna. Well, I mean, I got two good ones. I don't need them both, I guess. If I need the money.
this is a good one. It's also illegal to shoot a buffalo from a second story of a hotel room.
Is this all from Texas?
It's Texas, baby. They always do it better in Texas.
Jesus.
It's going to be called the Texas poll. You know what I should call it? Don't milk
I don't know.
someone's cow.
Or else your ass is gonna get shot from a second story window. Right in your eyeball.
Yeah, and then you're gonna have to sell it. So this is going to be the Texas poll for Instagram, the people who chose. This is a pretty interesting one. I actually was just going through Instagram one day and I found this picture and I kind of followed the breadcrumbs and trippy story. But my sources today are an article from nypost.com, murderpedia.org, ranker.com, an episode of Forensic Files. And if you guys want to watch it, or if you want to watch it, sir, it's season 14, episode 12, called The Social Circle. An article from medium.com, a podcast. Shout out to Nikki Young. It's called Serial Napper. And of course, Wikipedia.
That's a bona fide, true identification podcast link.
Yeah, no shit.
Website.
I mean, we've been out three months, so at the least I can do is be as thorough as possible. And a warning for some listeners, new listeners, or OGs. Some of the OGs.
Oh, geez.
Warning: this episode involves violence, drugs, two thick Mexicans. How y'all doing? Humiliation, adult language, adult content, mental health, bullying, and graphic descriptions of moida. If any of this makes you uncomfortable, please listen to another episode of our podcast or just have someone explain this one to you. So listener discretion is advised. Now, today we traveled down, and you don't know anything about this story, correct? So we have intro or summary for the people who are just now listening and just now following us. You don't know anything about the story, correct?
No, we never discuss anything. We don't even tell each other what stories we're covering. We try to keep it a secret because our reactions are genuine.
Yep. All right. So today we travel to Crystal Lake, Texas, and discuss the story of the mass murder.
We already got Jason Voorhees going, huh?
No.
Camp Crystal Lake.
Yeah, Camp Crystal Lake. You're right. And we talk about the mass murder known as Miss Irresistible.
Oh, a female serial killer, murderer,
Mass murderer, not a serial killer.
killer plural.
Yeah. Now, her name was Christine Marie Paolia. Paolia? She was born on March 31st, 1986 in Long Island, New York. Christine's father, Charles, died in a construction accident when she was young. And following the death of her father, Christine's mother, Lori, fell into a deep depression. Now, this also led to many different things with Lori: substance abuse, losing custody of Christine, actually, and her Christine's brother, whose name I actually couldn't find. And Lori ended up losing custody to Christine's grandparents.
Mm.
Early in Christine's life, she was diagnosed with alopecia. Do you know what that is?
Alopecia. Yeah.
Alop-
Yeah.
Balding. Yeah, I had to
Balding.
Google that. I thought it was a skin disorder.
No, that's
Eczema.
when your skin. Well, that too, but yeah. But anyway, yeah, I know what alopecia is.
So, as a girl, hair is everything. It honestly
Can
is.
be.
You
Can
know,
be.
my daughter, beautiful, long hair, and I told her jokingly the other day, I was like, "I'm gonna shave your head," and she almost knocked my tooth out. Like she was like, "You're not touching my
Way to
head, dude."
way to traumatize your daughter.
Yeah. Christine would lose clumps of hair by the age of 5.
Wow.
Clumps. Like she'd be in the shower, and I mean, literally,
Yeah.
from what Lori would tell some of the people that I read these articles on, literally handfuls of hair would be in either Lori's hand from washing her or Christine's hands from washing her own hair. A lot of the times Christine would fall asleep, there'd be hair all over her bed. So she bald very fast, unfortunately. Her eyebrows and her eyelashes were soon to follow. And as a kid in elementary school, Christine resulted into using wigs to cover up her baldness.
Yeah.
Now, if you know just as well as I do, kids are assholes. Straight up,
Every day.
every day. So, you know, she would go to school with a wig on, and kids would run up and snatch the wig off. They would make fun of her for drawing on eyebrows. They would make fun of her for just not having hair. They would call her Mr. Clean. It's not funny, but sorry.
So you said she was born in 86?
She was born in 86. Yeah.
Yeah, so high school in
The
mid
mid
90s.
90s.
Yeah, terrible.
That was also
Terrible.
around the time, with Columbine and everything too.
That's right, huh?
Yep. So not only that, but to make matters quote unquote worse, she had what a lot of kids had that had bad eyesight: Coke bottle glasses. So now she's being called four eyes or magnifiers, or I mean, all around, she's just having a really, really hard time as a child. Finally, about a year later, a few years later, excuse me, Lori is now clean, and she's able to reclaim custody of her children. She found love again and even remarried. So keep in mind, Charles, Christine's father, died in a construction accident, and now Lori was able to find love again and got remarried. And then she ended up moving to Texas from New York, from Long Island. They ended up in Clear Lake, like I said. It's called Clear Lake City, Texas. It's an upper middle class community. And Christine started going to Clear Lake High School. By this time, she was a sophomore. No, she was a junior, excuse me. Christine would, of course, like most kids, even myself. I mean, I transferred schools many times when we were in Arizona. I was always the freaking new kid. So being the new kid, you're always going to be nervous because you don't know who's cool. You don't know who's an asshole. You don't know who's who. You don't know anything.
I mean, the only thing that's going through my mind is that poor girl, obviously in the 90s, not making a joke of anything, but the wigs back then looked like they were terrible, I'm sure, compared to what they have nowadays. The process of putting on a wig, You can get your eyebrows tattooed on. I mean, there's. Well, my
That's
point
great.
is the evolution of getting help for people who don't embrace. There are a couple of people I see on the internet who have alopecia, male and female,
Mhm.
and some of them are like, they're popular.
Yep. Yeah.
They
Big.
embrace it.
Big.
Well, good for them. But just being a kid and having some sort of a
Defect. Even
not
I
looking
not defect, but something that's not normal to whatever.
normal.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah, and
growing
kids
up
are the
with me.
last to understand.
Exactly. And me growing up with diabetes is vastly different than having balding, but still it's something that kids target and they're like, oh, we can make fun of that. And they have no clue what it is.
No,
But things were actually really great for Christine in high school. Surprisingly, no one tried to beat her up. No one was a mean girl. If you've seen that movie, no one tried to play her for some fool. Um, you
or
know,
embarrass her.
or embarrass her. Yeah, nothing. As a matter of fact, the popular girls of this school, who was Rachel uh, Coloradus and Tiffany Rowell, they were the popular girls. They were the cheerleaders. They were known around the school. And these two girls were opposite of everything that you see on TV. People said Rachel was a fun person to be around. She was quick witted with long, beautiful brown hair. And she even wanted to join the armed forces after high school. Tiffany had a great big smile, was lovely to be around, and was Rachel's best friend. The seniors, this is the two girls, Rachel and Tiffany, were seniors. And like I said before, Christine was a junior. Now became a trio of best friends. She just got there and she's already making friends immediately. It's great.
Of course.
It's ideal. That's what every adult, e- every parent wants to hear for their child when they come into a new school, is that they got friends. When she went into the school, when Christine went into Clear Lake High School, she was still wearing wigs. She was still wearing the Coke bottle glasses. She was still kind of a, sorry to say it, but she was a little bit dorky. She looked a little bit dorky, and that's
She
not
looked
to.
different.
She looked different. It's not to shame her or bad mouth her or anything like that, but yeah, very, very, very plainly, she looked a little bit different than everybody else. Until Rachel and Tiffany were like, you know what, we're gonna give you a makeover. So what they ended up doing was helping Christine pick out not so over the top wigs, ones that would fit better. They did her makeup and they even helped her with her wardrobe. With this new look, Christine would eventually be dubbed Miss Irresistible by her school, which is kind of weird because the entire Clear Lake High School voted her that name.
Was it a joke, or were they trying to pull a big prank on her or something?
No, this was real. Like they legit
Oh,
had Miss Irresistible, but for me, I think that's kind of like they shouldn't have done that. Not to say that they shouldn't have done that for her or anything like that, but to put Irresistible, because you don't know what that's going to do to someone's confidence either. They're trying to withhold
it's it,
this.
you could be setting somebody up for failure. I mean, what the story you're starting to tell is like Carrie.
Yeah, yeah, similar. Yeah.
Yeah,
The school voted and they dubbed her Miss Irresistible. The trio became so close that Christine would often remove her wig to be more comfortable with Rachel and Tiffany. Now this is something that she wouldn't even do with her own family. Very rarely she would take off her wig around her family, let alone two friends that she just met, 6 months prior. This is actually what she looked like. So this was her going into the high school,
yeah.
big, thick glasses, her hair, wig. This is what they did after makeup, everything. That's all wigs. This is not even real hair. That's also wigs.
I mean, those glasses aren't bad.
They're not
She looks
terrible,
like
no.
she looks like what's the Happy Warrior? Roxanne
Oh,
Modaffari.
Roxanne, yeah. Roxanne Modafferi, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad. She didn't look bad then either.
No,
I
no.
wouldn't have been able to tell that was a wig.
The one on the right side or the left side of me, I think this is mirrored. On the left side of me was
Yeah,
definitely, you could tell was
No, I
They
didn't lie. I was expecting worse, to be honest with you. Like a
really?
wig on, like a wig from Ezekiel from The Walking Dead. His wig. Gary Payton is bald
Yeah,
as hell, and they put that big old mop on him.
yeah, that was kind of crazy. So now we move into the summer of '03. Rachel and Tiffany are now 18 and they have graduated high school. And like most young adults, when they graduate high school, what do? They party even more because they're adults. They can do it. However, Christine, now 17, still hanging out with the pair when she can, but not as much, seeing as she was still in high school. But when Christine couldn't find time for the friends that she had made, she eventually found someone else. Now, don't forget, with this new look, which does happen, she looked a little bit older than 17.
A lot older.
And in walks a really catch of a guy, Christopher Snyder, 21 years old. Now, I'm going to give you a list of things that make him really cool.
Oh, okay.
First off, number one, he was on parole for armed robbery.
Catch number one.
Number one. Number two, arrested for assault.
What a dreamy guy.
Number three, can you guess what number three is?
It has to be dating underage girls. I don't know.
Well, that's actually one.
Okay.
Good point. Drugs. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah. Everyone
sorry.
hated this guy. Legit. Everyone. Her mom, Christine's mom, Lori, in an interview said something in his eyes I didn't like. No shit. The guy's 21 years old. Even back in the early 90s and stuff like that, like parents were still okay with 17-year-olds dating older people. I'm not okay with that at all.
No,
That's
but
just
that's
me.
true. There was, when I was in high school and I graduated in 88, 83, 84, 85, there were girls in my school that were dating grown ass men.
Yeah, see, that's
You know, it, you can go either way. It's against the law. The grown ass men should know better. But at the same time, these girls, they were what they call very fast. Yeah. So, I mean, they talk like adults, they act like adults, they conversate like adults. And so the influence was there. You could tell that they had very advanced living outside of school. They were adults by me listening to them talk and how they dressed and how they carried themselves. A lot of times I was like, man, there's no way that girl's 16. There's no way that girl's 17. There's no way that girl's 18. But
yeah.
they look old. They act old.
Jeez.
But
Yeah.
we all know now today, 2022, it's against the law. You're asked to go to jail.
So now that Christine has met Christopher, she actually dubbed him Mr. Irresistible. When let me tell you, he's very resistible.
Really?
he's not a catch. He's not a looker.
No,
he's not a looker. Trust me.
he's missing teeth and everything.
He was rough on the eyes.
He looked like Mr. Judy Chop.
Yeah. There's the pot liquor right there, Judy Chop. Shortly after Christine fell into this toxic love spiderweb, verbal and physical abuse would happen often between the two. And more,
She didn't see that coming, I bet.
yeah. And more regularly, jealousy came from Christine. She would often punch Chris if he looked at other women. She would punch him in the face. Drugs, like I said earlier, were a big issue. Chris's family referred to Christine as, quote, a psycho.
Oh, she's definitely insecure. She has
Exactly.
years of being insecure. So her
Child,
only way, yeah.
insecure. She has alopecia.
Oh,
There's a lot of things that she's, what's it called? Self-confident.
yeah. She's not even grown up yet. I know that's not even proper English, but she ain't even grown. She's not mature,
At
and
all.
obviously he isn't either. So
No. And not only that,
toxic.
like I said earlier, this guy's he's on parole for assault, armed robbery, and drugs. Can you guess what his drug of choice was?
Cocaine.
That's a good guess, but unfortunately,
No.
no.
Crystal meth.
Nope. Good guesses.
Crack.
Heroin.
Heroin.
That good old heroin.
Well, it's
Yeah.
super cheap back then. So did he smoke it, snort it, shoot it,
Uh,
inject it?
from what I understand, he shot it.
Mm.
Yeah, this guy was an asshole. Also, he showed up to her school one time and snatched her wig off of Christine. They got into an argument the night prior, came into the school, passed a security guard who asked him, "Where are you going?" Went straight into her classroom, snatched off the wig, and told her to fuck off, basically.
Okay, well, I'm not gonna ask why, but obviously he did what he did.
Yeah.
Dick.
Christine, though, for some reason, was still in love with this guy, and to a sickening degree, she'd sleep on his lawn at times if Chris didn't let her into his house.
Well, I tell you what, I grew up when there was a movie made with John Cusack, and he set the standard of being silly,
Oh, with
standing
the
outside in the rain with the radio on top of his head.
yeah.
In your eyes. So it's not surprising.
Yeah, but sleeping on the lawn, like on that's not healthy.
It's
And
not,
then
but a
and
lot
then
of people.
that also makes me wonder, like, what is Lori thinking this entire time?
Her mom?
Yeah,
Oh, where's her dad?
he's dead.
Oh, sorry, you did say that.
He
So
died in a
I
construction
yeah.
accident.
So she never remarried. The mom never remarried or
She
nothing.
remarried, but the stepdad never got, because that's kind of an odd situation. And I've had this conversation with my wife too. Like, there's a certain boundary that step parents can go to because they're not their technical parent. But I mean, obviously, if they've been with the mother or the father for such a long time, that they can, reprimand them, not physically, but reprimand them in a certain way. With step parents, it's a little bit different because they're literally just a person that they don't know who is parenting them. You know what I mean?
No, I understand that. And plus, it also depends. Look, I had step parents. I still have step parents.
Oh yeah.
One of the best things that happened to me in my life. At a young age, we basically grew together. So I get what you're saying. Now, if they didn't, and we bonded. My
Yeah.
stepmom, my stepdad, everything was great. I was very fortunate to have the step parents I did. I still am. But I get it. Your mom remarries for the fourth time. Technically, it's not. It's a hypothetical. And you're 17, and here's stepdad number four. You're not. There is no connection.
No.
There's nothing. You're right. There is a boundary. No, that's a different conversation. But
Yeah.
yeah, I get it. I get it.
So there's only so much, and they didn't even give that guy's name, by the way. It never said in the forensic files and the articles that I read. It never gave the person's name other than that Lori remarried. That was it.
Yeah.
So
Well, Lauren
now
too. She probably told him not to. Don't reprimand my kid. You have no right to do it. So I mean, that
probably,
again, that's an argument
and
that's
she's from
personal, private.
New York, so, or Long Island, so they got attitude over there. Don't touch my fucking kid. It's my fucking daughter. I'll
He
put my
said that.
hands on. Yeah.
He said that. He
So
lives somewhere in California. Everybody.
now the terrific trio weren't so tight anymore, like I said, especially with Chris in the picture. Rachel, Christine, and Tiffany. Now, there wasn't any bad blood between the three. It's just they all grew apart for obvious reasons. Rachel and Tiffany were out doing their own thing, partying.
It happens.
They have boyfriends and they're doing their own stuff. Christine has her own boyfriend who is, like I said, not a catch,
I
but she's with the guy.
let him tell it.
Yeah. Now, Tiffany, for the longest time, she kind of went down memory lane. She would often, she had a picture of Christine when she first met Christine and took class photos, and Christine put on the back of a photo and gave it to her, and Tiffany would eventually keep it in her wallet. And on the back of the picture it says, in quotes, "Damn, we've had some crazy time, some crazy memories. Photo, haha. We've always been there for each other. I heart you always. Never forget our special friendship, Christine." End quote. So they're still friends, you know. They're like I said, there's not bad blood. There's just things got in the way.
Yeah, you grow apart.
So now we come to the part of the story that really takes a turn.
Good or bad?
Bad. Real bad.
For the people or for the
Oh,
girl?
let's find out.
All right.
On a summer day, July 18th, 2003, 4 dead bodies were found in a Clear Lake home. The first was Marcus Perelia, a 19-year-old boy, 21-year-old and cousin of Marcus, Albert Sanchez, 18-year-old Tiffany, and 18-year-old Rachel.
Her friends.
Her friends.
Oh, okay.
Police found all 4 victims with multiple gunshot wounds to their bodies. Marcus was found dead behind the couch with also blunt force trauma and gunshot wounds. Tiffany and Albert were on the couch and reclined back as if they were just hanging out and watching TV. Rachel had it the worst of all. She was found in front of the TV with 12 gunshot wounds, 1 in her left buttocks, and 10 were directed into Rachel's groin area.
No shit.
Yeah. She even had a clump of hair in her left hand. As if
she was trying to fight.
She was trying to fight someone. In front of Rachel was her cell phone, and on the screen, from what police and the article said, on the screen were the numbers dialed 9 and 1. So she was trying to call 911. When the police finally arrived on scene, they described this home as a quote unquote bloodbath. And it was so bad that there was blood covering just about every inch of the front room. There were blood on the walls, blood on the fireplace, blood on the television, blood on the ceiling fan, carpets, furniture. Blood was everywhere.
Yeah, I'd say so. 12 shots to 1 groin.
Yeah,
And
that's just
the
one
other
person.
people, as I'm saying, the other people didn't. I mean, unfortunately, they were shot too, but they didn't get that many shots, right? They weren't shot.
Over 40 gunshots were fired in this home.
All right. Well, sound like it was a personal vendetta.
34 of the gunshots hit their target. So
they were close.
6 of them missed. Oh yeah.
They were close.
Well, don't forget, they found Tiffany, Rachel, and the cousin reclined back, you know, as if they're watching TV. Literally.
Yeah.
The photos that I have, which I'll be putting on Instagram, they're literally reclined back, like they're just chilling, just hanging out. And there's no sign of forced entry. There's no sign of anything being burglarized or anything like that. No evidence was recovered at the scene. No guns were discovered. Nothing was there. It was almost as if it was like you said, it was a professional hit almost. At the time of the murders, no one heard what happened because it was the summer. And don't forget, they're in Texas, so it's hot. A lot of people have their windows closed. AC units are on. Music, depending if you're outside barbecuing, television programs. There's so many different variables of why no one heard this for so long, or why no one reacted to it for so long. It took almost a few hours for someone to actually notice something was wrong when they went to the home. Now, for the investigation part of this story, police were very confused with the amount of overkill that was towards Rachel. Excuse me, Tiffany was on the couch, Rachel was on the floor. Police said, especially with the shots to the groin, which police indicated that it was, quote, a sexual jealousy, thus making the kill very personal. Now, police initially labeled the case as a robbery gone wrong, tied with drugs. This is what they called it. Reason why they called it that is because Rachel and Tiffany, who were out of high school, worked at a local strip club as waitresses.
Shocking.
Yeah. The club was called the club was called Moist Molly's. It was famous for its Wet Wednesday special, the Gulp. Patrons would pay performers to spray them with a surprise liquid from their hoo-has and drink it. If they guessed the liquid correctly, you okay over there?
Dude, that is some Tijuana shit right there, dude.
Well, if you guessed the liquid correctly, you receive 2 free dances for the rest of the day, and not only that, a free plate of fish and chips.
Oh, add to the smell.
No, that
God.
as absurd as that sounds, that's because that was not real. That was just my stupid
Oh,
brain.
okay.
But they did actually work at a local strip club. The name of that strip club was not named in any of the articles or the Forensic Files episode that I watched. But
Okay.
yeah, so no
Moist
one
Molly's was pretty good.
yeah, no one was gulping either, so that's good. No, Marcus actually sold drugs. Yeah, the 19-year-old that was dating Tiffany was a drug dealer, which led police to believe that the robbery had gone wrong. Now, at this time, there were no people of interest, and Christine, who was at this point in time still their friend, but she was not questioned or even approached by the police when this happened. Also, Christine and Chris were no longer together, but Christine was now strung out on drugs. By this time, she was stuck on heroin as well as Oxycontin.
Hillbilly heroin.
Yes. After the pair split up, however, Christine decided to get sober, which she did. And while in rehab, she met Justin Rott, and they hit it off immediately. They were actually very, very compatible. They liked each other very much. And after the couple completed their rehab stint, they eventually got married and moved into an apartment together. So, all while this was happening, Christine was in rehab. When they got the apartment from a trust fund from Charles, which is Christine's father, he left a huge trust fund for Christine. So she had a lot of money. She had a lot of money. Everything was going amazing. They were happy and enjoying their new sober life until a news story came on TV one day. And on the headline, it read new evidence and a sketch of the suspect in a quadruple homicide. Immediately, Christine began to panic and pace around their new apartment.
Did they say how far between the two? Like from when it happened to where she was now clean and sober?
Few months.
Oh,
They
so
had no
real
one.
quick.
Yeah, they had no
Yeah,
one.
no. So real quick. Okay.
Yeah. So now Christine did something really odd. Not only really odd, but really childish. What do kids do when they get in trouble? Most of the time.
Cry?
Well, besides cry, they tell on themselves.
Oh, yeah, pretty much without even knowing.
So, as this news segment is on the television and she's pacing back and forth, the image pops up and Christine asks Justin, does that sketch look like me? A neighbor of Rachel came forth a day after everything had happened and gave a very useful description of two people, two strangers in that neighborhood a few days after the murders. There was one white male, about 6 foot tall, blondish hair, just a regular, quote, just a regular looking, but slightly older than a high schooler, as well as a short white female, petite, wearing a bandana with very large eyes. The neighbor said what stood out the most is that the couple, wore all black in the middle of summer. Now, you and I,
Shit.
by the way, when all this happened, it wasn't the dead of night. It was 2 in the afternoon.
Jesus, that's the hottest time of the day.
Exactly. And I was just gonna say, I'm from Arizona. We grew up there
Yeah.
11 years. Ain't no way in hell you're gonna catch me in all
No.
black on a fucking Monday, 2 p.m. wearing all black during the summer. Sorry, not happening.
No. There's no AC in the world powerful enough to keep you
Not even a swamp
dressed.
cooler.
No.
Hell no. Now, when the neighbor came forward, provided this information to the police put it out for the news and said, if you see this person, please contact us. Well, don't forget, Christine and Justin just got married. Well, when you make vows, you are with that person until death do you part. And you promise to be honest with that person and do everything that you can in your power to keep that relationship strong and solid. So what does Christine do? She confesses to her husband.
Jeez.
So Christine confessed to Justin about what happened to Rachel and Tiffany that day that they were killed. She said her ex wanted to rob Rachel's boyfriend because he knew he had drugs. Christine was, quote, shocked when she arrived at the house and Chris, Mr. Irresistible, as she called him, shoved a gun into her hand and said, take this, we're taking everything. They knocked on the door. Tiffany answered the door. I'm sorry, Rachel answered the door and proceeded to walk them in. Hey, what have you been up to? How's everything going? I haven't seen you in a couple of years. And without anything, boom, 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 boom.
That quick?
Firing.
Jeez.
When they entered
From
the
who,
home,
the guy or the girl?
Or
both?
From both. Well, this is from what Christine is saying. When they entered the home, Chris, without any provocation, shot Marcus and Tiffany both on the couch, reclined back. Christine said her gun just started firing by itself because we all know that's exactly what happens with guns.
Sure.
After,
no body parts involved.
No. Again, like a child, immature, you try to make up lies and shit that sound good in your head, but guess what? No, it's not going to hold up in court, sweetheart.
Mm-mm. We are human. We are dumb.
Right.
By default.
After the firing stopped, the killer couple left. So they just fired, took what they could, walked out. Chris told Christine to go back into the house. Again, this is what Christine is relaying to Justin, is confessing to Justin. Told Christine to go back into the house and make sure they were all, quote unquote, dead. When Christine came back into the home, she saw Rachel alive, crawling to her cell phone on the floor. When she saw her dialing 911. Her finger was on the one when she died. Christine then started to beat Rachel with the butt of the handgun that she had. Can you guess what happened after the killings? This is still Christine confessing to Justin. Guess what she did after killing her two best friends?
Did she hurt him more?
No, she told Chris to drive her
pain?
to work because she was late for the makeup department at the local Walgreens. She didn't want to be late for a shift.
Hey, she had good work ethic.
Yeah, I mean, I'd probably hire her. Hey, you do weird shit, but you're here on time. Good job. Now, They are fresh out of rehab. Christine just confessed to Justin, and Justin is just like, what the fuck am I supposed to do with this? So they do the only reasonable thing that they could do. They ran.
That's not part of the 12 steps or the 12 principles, by the way.
Yeah. Fresh out of rehab, and Justin was ready. The couple then check into a pretty high class hotel. Again, Christine had a trust fund, so she had enough money to do so. Um, it was called. I mean, it was pretty top tier. It's the La Quinta Inn and Suites. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
The one right around the corner.
Yep. You know, it's top tier. It's almost like the Biltmore. Uh, where guess what they also did in that hotel room?
Drugs.
How'd you know?
Put it furthest thing from my mind as an addict.
Yes, they relapsed on that good old heroin, and they used up to $500 every day for 7 months straight.
7 months they stayed in that hotel?
7 months. And when I tell you these pictures that the police found, it's bad. Like it's not hoarder bad, but I take that back. It's pretty fucking bad.
It's tweaker bad.
It's tweaker bad. Can you guess what they were living off of? Like food wise?
Heroin and water.
Close, actually, not bad. No, these two particularly liked Reese's peanut butter cups, Kool-Aid, and white cheddar Cheez-Its. Talk about classy, huh? Drinking some
that's that's top tier etiquette.
That's
eating everything.
That's a redneck charcuterie board. Now, keep in mind, this room was never cleaned by housekeeping. Again, shocker. If you know anything about tweakers, not just you, Dad, but people listening, new listeners and OGs, tweakers are not the cleanest people. They are by far the dirtiest people you'll ever meet.
But they have hell of good ideas.
Yeah, they do. Hey man, I have a really good idea. I'm gonna take this shopping cart and this car battery. I'm gonna make it a grill. Inside this room, and this is what I was talking about earlier in the disclaimer. If you have a weak stomach, just get ready, or a really good imagination and a weak stomach. Inside the room was covered, and I mean covered, in urine, vomit, human feces, dog feces.
Oh, they had a dog, and they were able to take care of a dog. Okay.
They were able to take care of a dog. Well, I mean, any dog can live off of fucking Kool-Aid and white cheddar Cheez-Its, bro. You kidding me? That's the number one diet for any canine. And not only that, not the vomit, the urine, the poop, all that, but also roughly, and this is making my skin crawl just reading it, 1,500 needles.
I believe that.
The walls were just as covered in blood from every time that they would pop a vein. The room was painted white at one point in time, but in the 7 months that they were there, it changed from white to certain parts of the wall being dark brown, yellow, and again bloodstained. Christine eventually was caught by an anonymous person who claimed Christine confessed to him. She confessed to 2 people, apparently. While of these murders, this person called the Houston Police Department, informed them of the information. The police were able to then find Christine almost immediately because, you know, with the trust fund, you have to go get your money. So how do you get that money? I don't know. A debit card?
You mean an electronic footprint?
Yeah, you know, it's pretty easy to find someone nowadays, especially then. Not especially
Yes.
then, but if you're using a card, you're gonna get caught like that. So she was withdrawing $500 a day. A
More than
day.
that, you got to consider the hotel room, and unless you get one hell of a deal on Cheez-Its, those are expensive.
And the Reese's peanut butter cups. I mean, if you
Yeah,
go to the
especially.
Dollar Tree, man, you're just getting hooked up.
Well, yeah.
Christine was arrested 2 days after the tip and was sentenced to life in prison without the eligibility of parole for 4 years. Christine's ex then
Wait a minute.
knew.
What? Say that again. Life, not eligible for parole for 4 years. That doesn't make sense.
So she was captured, arrested, tried, given life in prison without the eligibility of parole for 4 years. So she spent 4 years without the eligibility of parole. And then somewhere down the line, they changed it so she can try to parole for,
Oh, okay.
whatever.
Okay. Yeah,
But
so time
they,
served.
yeah, but then they've declined every time since. Um, I wonder why,
Well,
and then Christine's ex, Chris, knew that the police were coming for him shortly after, and he did, much like the Gabby Politro or the
Petito.
the boyfriend Brandon
Mm-hmm.
something,
Mm.
very much did just like him. Ran into the woods and overdosed on pills and Mountain Dew. That's not funny. That's what I read.
Okay, you're right. It's not funny, but
The Mountain Dew part, is that
the
what?
Mountain Dew, the Mountain Dew part. It's been a long story. It's a long story. If you look at any documentary about people of poverty, they
Oh
always
yeah,
talk about
Mountain Dew.
junk food, and Mountain View is very popular with people of low income, bad
Yep.
health,
Yep.
certain demographics, not a lot of demographics. So it's a staple food for bad health.
Yeah. Well, that's what
Okay,
they found
so
in his stomach was a bunch
yeah,
of pills and a bunch of Mountain Dew. So he went out with a
that's why it's so
bang, I
cheap.
guess. I don't
That's
know.
why it's
Yeah.
so cheap.
To this day, Christine has never said what the motive was to kill her two friends, two people who took her in as the new girl to make her the irresistible person that she was. Again, the confession that she said to Justin is that Chris was the one who planned all of this. Chris
Mm.
is the one who wanted to go rob them and get the money, get the drugs, and do this and that and the other. But by this time, granted, 17, about to be 18 years old, you still kind of have some mindset of what you're doing. If you get handed a gun, you're not going to sit there and be like, okay, uh, I'm not. If someone hands me a gun and we're walking into someone's house, sorry, I'm not going in that house. I'm not even going to be I'm not going to be on that same street as you. Sorry.
Well, drug minded is a different entity. That is a whole different beast, unfortunately. So, what sounds like a bad idea to most is one hell of a fucking good time for all you're
Others.
after is the dope,
Yeah.
no matter how you get it. It's unfortunate, but
Yeah.
that's how addicts speak. Trust me, I've listened to many of them, and there's no bad idea.
Yeah. True. Very
Never a
true.
bad idea. Hey, if
So,
I thought of it, it's gonna fucking work.
yeah. So that's the end of this story. She still does not give um a reason as to why it happened. It was all Chris's idea and she was just there. She said she never shot a gun, but when the police looked at Rachel and, I'm sorry, 12 shots to a groin area, that is definitely some type of jealousy.
Oh,
Has
it's
to be.
personal as hell. Like, did she ever cheat on her boyfriend, or
Not that I
she
read
was
or anything
prettier
like
than
that.
her? Was she prettier than her? Was she jealous? Was she attracted to her? Did she like her? I mean, who knows?
I don't think she was attracted to her, but I think what the issue was um is that she got taken in by these two, I mean, very to be very bluntly, very beautiful young girls. They were very pretty.
Well, of course, they had empathy for her. They wanted to make her feel normal.
Yeah.
Shame
And
on them. That's what killed them.
yeah. And that's, yeah, that's exactly what happened, is that they unfortunately passed away because of that. Um I'll show
Uh,
you real
they got
quick.
murdered because of that.
Yeah, murdered. Yeah, not passed away. But Justin was arrested for drug charges and what's it called?
Destructive of property.
Well, that too, with the hotel room. No, but
Yeah.
harboring a fugitive,
Oh,
or not harboring. Yeah, harboring. Herber
or 80? No, not 80.
aiding.
Anyway,
Yeah,
basically
aiding.
they got high for 7 months, and now
Really
is he
high.
in jail now?
Yeah, he's also in
Oh,
jail.
oh, jeez. And that you
So
said this was on TV?
this was all on TV. Yeah, if you go on Forensic Files, it's on the Forensic Files.
Yeah, I'm gonna check it out. I want to watch the whole story.
Yeah.
Do they have a picture of her now, like current 20, at least in the 20s?
Yep. Please refrain from doing drugs, ladies and gentlemen. Please refrain from doing ridiculously stupid things on drugs. Just don't do drugs at all. Okay.
Well, I'll tell you what, that is a very vague description. You got to understand something now, son. Drugs are something, there's an addiction for everything. It doesn't have to be a controlled substance, an uncontrolled substance.
This is
It could be
what she looked
sugar.
like, by the way.
Oh, she looks like Shanna Baszler.
Who?
Shayna Baszler.
I don't know who that is.
Queen of Spades. She's on WEAW. She was part of she was on with Roxanne Modafferi on the Ultimate Fighter that
Really?
season when it was all girl. Yeah. She's a girl who wore the top hat, the Queen of Spades.
I'll probably have to.
She's Ronda Rousey's friend.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, but yeah, going back to what you were saying. Yeah, no, I know there's addictions everywhere and stuff like that, but let's refrain from killing people. How about that?
Yeah, any good idea while you're under the influence usually is not. So,
Yeah, it's not a good idea.
no.
But thank you everyone for listening. Thank you
Being
everyone
patient.
for being
Sorry, it's
patient.
only
Yeah.
been 3 months. Hell,
Yeah.
we're doing our best to get better.
A lot of things, that came into this, a newborn child for me. You've had several things going on with my brothers,
Yeah, and
uh,
mother.
and mother and grandfather. There's just
Yeah,
life is getting,
life, life, and where everybody's feeling it.
yeah,
From the biggest podcaster to the littlest, it doesn't matter.
life happens for
So
everybody.
we appreciate you guys following. We appreciate a lot of you guys who are bored and need to listen to something. And if you want to listen to us two no neck individuals, we thank you.
Gracias. Yeah, if you guys want to keep in contact with us, again, if you're a new follower, thank you for following. If you're a new listener, thank you for listening. If you're OG, please remember to go over to the Flow page. That's flow.page/BTWBJ podcast. And you can find all of our social media outlets, TikTok, Twitter. Big Jim runs Twitter. We're
I run the
also,
twat.
yeah, we're also on Twitch now.
Oh,
I'm gonna try and fix that with our other program that we have, and I'm gonna see if we could do something for live episodes. Instagram, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and so much more. Follow us on YouTube and everything else. Um,
and
be
stickers. Got
and
new
stickers,
stickers.
yeah, we have new stickers. We actually have big. There's gonna be a couple changes coming.
Oh,
Yeah, you'll still see these faces and stuff like that, but um things that I've noticed over the, I guess, 2 years that we've been doing this now. Yeah, a lot of things with the name, couple things about the demographic that we have, the what's it called, people who listen to this. There's a few things that we're going to be changing up that associate everything into one podcast, and I think everyone's going to like it. I've already spoken to you about it. If you've forgotten, I'll tell you after we record.
It's 100% chance I forgot.
But thank you, everyone. If you guys would like to support the podcast for now, please, if you head over to buymeacoffee.com/BTWBJ pod, or if you go to our flow page, it's also there. You can buy us a coffee, or we normally just spend it on beer. And we can put it into the podcast. For content purposes, we'll drink a beer and give you guys a shout out if you give us a beer, or we'll send you guys some stickers. So
We'll just give you a shout out, period.
yeah,
We shout out a lot of our podcast friends, a lot of our family members. So,
I mean, I'm drinking over the fence coffee mug right now.
and on my water bottle, I have the cool kids.
Yeah, there you go.
Can you
I
see
saw
Can
it.
you see
Yeah.
it? Can you see it?
Yeah. I
Pow.
got mine right there. Spooky shit only.
Spooky chicks.
So thank you, everyone, for listening. Thank you, everybody, for watching. No, listening, because this is going to be just see, that's another change. We're just going to go straight into audio for now. Yeah, until we're able to fix your video settings. Thank
Blame
you.
the old guy.
Yeah, blame the old guy who doesn't know how to work the damn internet.
This is very true. There is no lie.
Thank you, guys. Love you guys. Cannot wait to keep doing this for you guys. We have a lot more stuff coming out. This was the Texas poll, and we have the California poll coming soon. I think you are going to cover that one, right?
I have it.
All
I
right.
have it.
So
All right.
episode
Till next
59 will be Big Jim. Till next time. All right, guys. Talk to you later. Peace.